You know, this is one of the great things about my job. I get to ride these new motorcycles now. This is as far as I know, this is brand new from Harley Davidson, the 975 Nightster. You know, it's obviously a lot smaller of a bike than I'm used to riding, but it's badass looking. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Motor-wise, it looks like what was on the adventure bike I got to ride a year or so ago. Smaller version. But yeah, I mean, it's got nice lines. It looks good. It's got, you know, big old cannon for exhaust over here. I like the little cafe style little fare in there, so I think we take it for a ride, see how we like it. And this is going to be one of those bikes that's going to be fun to play on, okay? I'm not expecting to hop on this and take it down the interstate highway to California. I'm thinking this is going to be a lot of fun in the curves. All right, first thing you notice, it's nothing like my road king. This is pretty wild. This thing is light as a feather. So when you turn the throttle, you get some pretty quick response with it. It's got several different modes. I got it in sport mode right now. It's pretty awesome. Great balance. Super top heavy. It is not. You can come to a complete stop before you have to put your feet down. Alright, I put it down into the highway mode. It is a little rocket ship, that is for sure. It likes to go fast. It's pretty freaking cool. Very surprised on the highway. I thought with being such a light motorcycle, I was going to be a little nervous on the highway with it, and absolutely no problem whatsoever. This thing handles itself. It's fast. This is one of the cool things. I mean, I love you guys here at Southside Harley Davidson in Indianapolis. You guys allow me to come out and ride these new bikes and stuff. Tell me exactly what this is called. It's the Nightster, if I'm not mistaken, but tell me about this bike, because it's fast as crap.
Yes, I know that. So if you're familiar with the Pan America, which we did a little highlight on a year ago, this is going to be the downsized version of that, the 975 version of that. So you're still talking 4-valve, variable valve timing, 3 ride modes, which I told you to play with 2 of those when you test rode it. The 3rd ride mode, which is going to make the bike a fantastic starter bike, is rain mode, because you're going to eliminate some of that horsepower torque getting to the ground. You're going to soften the ABS mechanism so you're not going to lock things up. It's really interesting, if a person hasn't rode these bikes in the rain, what the rain mode actually does in the motorcycles. I know the big bikes have it too, but it's really noticeable when you've got a 90 horsepower motorcycle like this little bike is, and you can get this thing to be 50, 60 horse getting to the ground. Really soft application. The bike is just incredible. If you think about basically what it's going to replace is the 883 iron. Okay. But we're talking about a bike that's 100 pounds lighter than that, that makes almost twice as much horsepower of that when you're in sport mode, so 90 horsepower and 70 pounds of torque. And the top speed on this thing is wickedly high, and as stable as can be. It's a tremendous step forward as far as Sportsters go.
Well, and I will touch on that, because when I took this out, I took it on the interstate just so I could see what it was like in highway mode and go. And dude, I was 75, 80 miles an hour like that, and it was smooth. I mean, it was smooth. And that was my concern was, man, it's a little bike. I'm going to feel like I'm getting pushed around all over the place out here on the highway. And it wasn't that way at all. I thought it's going to be a little nerve-wracking being on a little bike. And that's not the case at all. And again, when I say little bike, it's very lightweight. You know what I'm saying? It's a lightweight bike, but yet the speed is just ridiculous on it.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's one of those things going to surprise people. that you've got a bike that is light like this, that has this much capability to run at highway speeds. The fact that it's a 6-speed, right? The old Sportsters were 5-speed bikes, and there's no magic to this. They're not happy doing 75, 80 miles an hour. Yeah. You've got seismic vibration going through that big twin. Right. This bike is smooth, man. It doesn't care about the 85 miles an hour. It just doesn't. And it's got a wicked top speed. It's really something.
Well, I mean, I loved it. I loved riding it. It reminded me, you know, I think I mentioned it while I'm riding, is, you know, if you like the old cafe racer style bikes, that's what it reminds me of. You know, it reminds me almost of the old Buells. Yes. I know they had like a city street that was kind of more compact, and it was just, to me, it reminded me of that only because of, you can come up to a red light, you coming up to a stop, and you come to a complete stop before your feet ever go to the ground. You know what I'm saying? It's the balance is so perfect on it, and that's what it kind of reminded me of. And it's like I said, if you like the old cafe racer styles, man, you're gonna love this right here.
Yeah, it's they've done such a good job. You talked about balance, so most people aren't going to realize that this is actually an airbox cover up here, and that kind of going back to the V-Rod days. Okay. There's a 3.3 gallon tank under the seat here. So you put that mass centralization of weight really low on the bike. Yes. And it causes the bike to stay nice and neutral under you. Again, this bike with this motor design allows them to make the motor a stress member of the frame, so it's rigid, it's light, it's nimble, and you don't have a lot of framework to worry about, you know? Yeah. Frames are heavy, they make weight. So it's I mean, it's a big step forward. I know there'll be a lot of people that maybe aren't thrilled with as fast as this modernization might be happening, but it can't be really helped, you know. You've got to have a bike you can sell in Europe in this size motorcycle. Harley desperately needs a bike that they can put in flat track, and this motor is going to allow them to get right up against the Indians that are dominating flat track. Yeah. So it's cool. It's cool.
You know, and I'll be honest, it was kind of neat when Indian came back and they were doing good. It's like, good. I want to see a good, healthy competition. But then it just got way lopsided, and I was like, all right, crap, we got to get Harley back in here now. So if you want to, you make your way to Southside Harley Davidson and see if you can take one of these out for a demo ride. Got to have a motorcycle endorsement. Don't come showing up here in shorts and flip-flops and no endorsement and think you're going to hop on a motorcycle. That's not going to happen. Well, Mike, thank you so much for talking to me about this, and I like it. And yes, you know, old school bikers don't like the new stuff. And all I say is there's still old school stuff too. Sure. You don't have to. If you don't like the style bike, guess what? Don't buy the style bike. Right. You can still buy a Street Glide. You can still buy all the other stuff. Big twin bikes. Yeah. And this is going to be a starter bike with a lot more legs under it than an old Sportster would have had. Oh, yeah. I mean, you've got a lot going on here that's going to allow you to own this bike and really enjoy it. Yeah. So. All right. Well, Mike, thank you so much.
No problem, Scott. Thank you.